going private, being owned by one person who does not have a board of directors, which is almost unheard of in a semi-sophisticated company. To not have a board of directors is really one of the biggest red flags ever. So that's lack of governance right there. On top of that, this particular where Twitter just dissolved its Trust and Safety Council is another huge red flag, especially given Twitter's history of not doing a great job of content moderation, but doing their best under the circumstances. Third big red flag in this story is the way that the head of Trust and Safety has been basically not only persecuted by the new owner of Twitter, but also bots and hateful, people who basically want to be hateful online have chased him down as well, including physically to his home. So these are things that apply, I think, to many of our new dimensions of tech. And this is really what could go wrong in a very serious way, and it can hurt people physically as well as emotionally. So let's go to the next ugly story, or risk gone wrong. This is a series of emotions that were experienced by people when they were cyber intruded. And I do a lot of work in the cyber sphere in terms of governance and risk management and leadership and resilience building. And here you have a very interesting report. This was reported, I believe, by I can't see the name. It's one of the big cyber companies, and also part of a World Economic Forum a global risks report of this last year. These are the emotions experienced after detecting unauthorized access. So again, this connects the tech disruption, the cyber world with human emotions. And 52% of the people who experienced this unauthorized access felt angry. 46% felt stressed. 1% felt vulnerable. 4% felt, I can't see it, but you get the picture. There are a number of very serious emotions and impacts on human beings when they feel that their space has been attacked, made vulnerable, their privacy invaded, or their information stolen. And the very same thing can happen, of course, in the metaverse, and maybe in ways that we haven't experienced yet in the pure cyber space. So let's go to the next slide, please. Here's a series of headlines that I actually collected when I was writing my Megatrends report for this year. Just referred to the metaverse, and I did say in the booklet that happens in the metaverse won't stay in the metaverse, and it won't. And I think it's important that it doesn't, because we need to find ways to protect people and their data and their well-being. And so here you have a variety of ugly headlines. Metaverse app allows kids into virtual strip clubs. Woman says she was gang raped in Facebook's metaverse. How will Facebook keep its metaverse safe for users was a question the Financial Times asked. Come the metaverse, can privacy exist? Very, very critical question. Metaverse is everything you hate about the internet strapped to your face. That's a pretty harsh statement, but maybe it is. And why the hell are people getting married in the metaverse? This is a little funnier. And then we have the funniest one. High rapper Snoop Dogg wants to grow weed in the metaverse. So we have all kinds of things happening in the metaverse, some of them dangerous, some of them silly, some of them funny. Let's go to the next slide, please. So here's another aspect of technology disruption, being very intrusive and or things that we don't know are going on. And I just heard a few of the panelists talking about how we don't have the ability to really know who knows what about us, our eye movements, our biometrics that are going through these, goggles, headsets. So there's all kinds of things being collected. We don't really know where it's going, what it's going to be used for, et cetera. Well, here's a story that's kind of similar, but a little bit different, which is this whole scandal that happened this past year with an Israeli company that was basically selling software that allowed the buyer to snoop on the phones of very famous people, very important people, powerful people, and maybe just normal people. But this is another, surveillance nightmare that we think we're going to have to deal with, certainly in the foreseeable future. And again, it has aspects of some of the things that we're facing, I think, in the metaverse. Next slide, please. So this is yet another angle. Sounds good. Thank you. Just close that. This is yet another angle that has a real sort of impact on the metaverse as well. And this is a slide, a series of data that's been collected, and a graphic created by Domo that shows what happens in social media every 60 seconds of every day. So every minute of every day, we have 575,000 tweets on Twitter. We have 167 million TikToks. We have 4 million posts on Facebook. We have 694,000 hours uploaded to YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. Now, just think about this in terms of just the information overload. Obviously, that is just exploding all over the world through social media. But then let's go to the next slide, and I just want to show where this becomes a really serious problem. And again, there are issues, risks, opportunities that are going to overflow or be part of the metaverse as well. And that's this whole world of disinformation, misinformation, and what some people are also calling malinformation. The difference between misinformation and the other two is that there's intent to harm with disinformation or malinformation. So when you put together what happens every 60 seconds on social media with this little sort of explanation of intent to harm versus just negligent information sharing or disinformation sharing, we again have